They say the top 1% think differently, but I say the top 1% speak differently. They do not beg, they do not doubt, they do not tremble before appearances. They know the law, and they speak it with authority. The great masses of men and women look upon success as a mountain to climb, but those who walk in spiritual dominion speak to the mountain, and the mountain moves. If you feel yourself small, unseen, and circling the same wilderness year after year, it is because you have agreed to play the game by the world's rules, and not by God's. You have said in your heart, "It's too late, I'm too far behind, it must be easier for them." But I say unto you now, there is no competition in the kingdom. There is only alignment. And alignment begins in the inner courtroom of your mind, where every word is a verdict. What have you been declaring? What sentences have you handed down to yourself in secret? Have you called yourself unlucky, behind, not ready yet, not enough? Then it is no wonder the gates of your fortune remain shut. But I say to you, the moment you change your inner decree, the outer world must obey. The scripture says, "Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee." There is no delay in the Spirit. The delay is always in your belief, in your speech, in your willingness to accept what is already yours by divine right. And I tell you this truth, the top 1% do not think harder. They do not hustle more. They believe more fully and speak more boldly. They walk in the knowing that supply is spiritual, not material. They speak riches, and so riches come. They affirm success, and so success rises to meet them. They have mastered the game of the mind, and the world crowns them with gold. Now I ask you, child of God, are you ready to speak like the wealthy? Are you ready to command your good, not chase it? Are you ready to think like the 1%? Then let us begin. The world has taught you to strive. It has taught you to earn. It has taught you to prove yourself through effort, competition, and ceaseless motion. But I teach you a higher law, the law that governs kings and queens in silence, the law that builds palaces without bricks and opens doors without keys. It is the law of the spoken word. For in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word has never lost its power. The rich of this world may speak of strategy and structure, but the rich in spirit speak of certainty and spiritual structure. The top 1% may appear to operate through logic and legacy, but behind their outer moves is an inner vibration, a frequency of dominion that assumes good is inevitable. This is the law that cannot be broken, for it is written, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." You do not attract what you want. You attract what you believe is already yours, and belief is formed by repetition, by the words spoken aloud with conviction, with rhythm, with joy, and with bold expectancy. Now hear me well, for this is where so many fail. They attempt to manifest riches through positive thinking, but thinking alone is not enough. Thought builds the mold, but the word activates the substance. You must say it. You must declare it. You must prophesy over your own life. The modern world has taught you to be silent, humble, hesitant, but spiritual law requires audacity. God loves boldness. For it is written, "Come boldly to the throne of grace that ye may obtain." I say, come boldly, speak your word, and claim your inheritance. The sheep are silent, but the lions roar, and you were never born to bleat. You were born to decree. The world's solutions, saving more, working harder, getting another certification, these are the tools of those who have forgotten who they are. But the spiritual elect do not ask for permission. They do not wait for external validation. They do not consult appearances. They declare what is theirs by divine right, and the universe rearranges to obey. You are not here to earn wealth. You are here to receive it. You are not here to chase success. You are here to align with it. And alignment comes not through effort, but through inner speech. That is how the top 1% truly live. That is their secret, not inherited money, but inherited law. And the law is no respecter of persons. What it has done for one, it will do for all, when rightly claimed. So I ask you now, What are you commanding? What words are you pouring into the mold of your life? For whatever you speak in faith shall be established. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and you shall eat the fruit thereof. Speak wrongly, and you will taste struggle. Speak rightly, and you will feast on abundance. The difference between struggle and supply is not effort, my dear. It is utterance. It is not action. It is alignment. So choose now. Will you speak as the poor in spirit, or will you speak as the rich in law? I once knew a man, let us call him Thomas, who had grown up in a house where money was always scarce and fear was always plenty. His father spoke often of layoffs and taxes, of bills and burdens, and his mother would sigh through supper, declaring, "There's never enough to go around." And so the boy learned early what most of the world believes, that success belongs to others, and that money comes only through sweat and suffering. He inherited not a fortune, but a frequency, a vibration of lack that followed him into adulthood like a shadow he could not name. He was diligent, yes. He was talented, yes. But no matter what he did, doors closed, clients disappeared, checks arrived late. He was always nearly there, but never quite through. His mind, like so many, was filled with knowledge, but empty of truth, and so his labor bore thorns instead of figs. Now Thomas came to me in distress. He had tried affirmations, read countless books, taken every modern course and workshop, but his outer life refused to shift. "Why?" he asked me. "Do I keep circling the same mountain?" And I told him the truth that set him free. Because you are trying to change your life through effort instead of dominion. You are thinking your way into better, when the law demands you speak your way into truth. For the subconscious cannot be transformed by logic. It responds only to the rhythmic, confident word. I gave him this declaration. I am the rich child of a loving Father. My supply is endless, effortless, immediate, and divine. And I said, speak it morning, noon, and night, not with hope, but with knowing, not to make it come, but because it already has. At first, his tongue stumbled. His voice cracked. The words felt foreign, like wearing royal robes while still feeling like a servant. But I told him, keep going. You are not lying. You are testifying to spiritual law. You are not faking. You are realigning with your original estate. And so he did. He walked the streets declaring, my wealth now flows. My good now shows. My gates are open wide. He said it aloud while washing dishes, while putting on his shoes, while staring at a bank account that hadn't yet caught up. And within weeks, not years, the substance began to obey. An old client returned with a larger offer than ever before. A job interview turned into a consulting contract he never applied for. A cousin he hadn't seen in years wired him money unprovoked, saying, I don't know why, but I felt moved to help you. And I smiled when he told me, for I knew why. His vibration had changed. His consciousness had expanded. His word had gone forth and made crooked places straight. For it is written, He sent His word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. Let me tell you something divine. Your situation is not stubborn. Your word has simply not been consistent. When your word is double-minded, your world is double-bound. But when your word is rhythmic, bold, and faithful, your world must realign. Thomas did not hustle. Thomas did not plan. Thomas did not beg. He declared, and the riches came. He affirmed, and the world obeyed. He took his authority back from appearances and gave it to truth. There was a night when he told me, with tears in his eyes, I no longer chase, I declare, and I said, now you walk with kings, now you speak with law, for he had become what I call a spiritual millionaire, not just in gold, but in consciousness. And I tell you, what happened to Thomas is not rare. It is only rare because few obey the spiritual process long enough to let the old world fall away. They plant the seed but do not water it. They speak the word but cancel it with worry. They declare in the morning and doubt by noon. But the top 1%, the true top, do not waver. They do not consult circumstances. They do not rehearse limitation. They speak as if the thing is done, because spiritually it is. Before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The moment you speak the law in faith, the vibration goes out. The rearrangement begins, and if you hold your tone, your tempo, your trust, then the manifestation will arrive with divine precision. So I ask you now, not in theory, but in sacred urgency, what is your word creating? What are you rehearsing in the theater of your mind? Do you imagine overdrafts and late fees, or do you see yourself crowned with gold and wrapped in favor? The difference between a pauper and a prince is not salary, it is speech. The top 1% think differently because they speak differently, and you can join them, not tomorrow, not next year, but now, with one word, with one choice, with one declaration. Now let us come to you, not as a student, but as a soul with authority, a soul who may have forgotten, but has not been disinherited, a soul who has tried, oh, how you've tried, but who has not yet spoken with power. Let us lay aside your history. Let us lay aside your reasons. Let us lay aside every false crown the world has placed upon your head, poverty, struggle, delay, confusion, and let us now return to the altar of truth. I say this to you, your wealth is not waiting in the marketplace. It is not hiding in a promotion. It is not held hostage by your education, your resume, or your past. Your wealth is within. It is spiritual substance. It is divine pattern. It is infinite and personal, and it is shaped only and always by the word you speak. So I ask you plainly, what is your word? What have you been declaring over your life? Have you said, money is tight, I can't catch a break, I'm always behind, nothing ever works for me? Then you have built an altar to lack. You have crowned a false king. You have set your own good outside your reach and called it fate. But I tell you now with sacred clarity, your life is not a mystery. It is a mirror. It reflects your inner decree. If you speak failure, failure will be faithful. If you speak delay, delay will kneel at your feet. If you speak scarcity, then even the open door will seem invisible to you. You must become violent with your old speech. Cast it out, dismantle it, renounce it. It is not the voice of God within you. It is the whisper of the race mind, the echo of a world that has forgotten heaven. Now let us shift, right now, not tomorrow, not after another book, another video, another course. I speak to your spirit and I say, this is the hour of reversal. This is the moment of mental wealth. This is where you stop asking and begin declaring. And I give you new words to carry forth from your tongue like royal edicts. You shall say, I am the rich child of God. I have wealth in my word. I have power in my declaration. I have prosperity in my presence. Everywhere I go, the substance of spirit flows to me, through me, and around me in divine arrangement. Do not say this once and hope. Speak it rhythmically. Speak it poetically. Speak it until your bones believe it, until your breath carries it, until your shadow begins to glow with its truth. Say it while walking, say it while bathing, say it while cooking, say it while standing in line. You are not trying to get rich. You are reclaiming your divine state. For the kingdom of God is not effort, it is utterance, not striving, but speech. Say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and the mountain must obey. If your mountain has not moved, it is because your words have been soft, inconsistent, or drowned in fear. But I call you now to speak like one who knows, one who understands that every syllable, when aligned with spiritual law, is a seed of unstoppable harvest. And let us speak also to the fears that rise when we begin to claim, what if it doesn't work? What if I sound foolish? What if I get my hopes up and nothing changes? Ah, but my dear, that is precisely the voice you must overpower. That is the serpent on the branch, whispering limitation into your soul. Crush it with your word. You must speak through your doubt. You must declare through your trembling, for it is written, "Let the weak say, I am strong." Not feel strong, say it. The spoken word changes the feeling. The declaration changes the frequency. The rhythm changes the field. Here is your instruction, and it is not complicated. It is spiritual, it is sacred, and it is sure. Speak abundance now. Speak wealth now. Speak supply now. And if the appearance mocks you, speak again, and again, and again, until the mocking melts and the outer conforms. Do not adjust your words to match your life. Adjust your life to match your words. You are not a reporter. You are a ruler. Speak not of what is. Speak of what must be. That is how the top 1% live. They do not describe. They decree. So rise now. Rise with your word. Rise with your rhythm. Rise with your crown. You have been given dominion. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. That includes money. That includes business. That includes success. Let it be so now. Let it be spoken now. Let it be claimed now. For the substance of heaven is listening, and it waits not for effort, but for instruction. Now listen, child of God, for I shall speak plainly and without veil. The true secret of the top 1% is not strategy. It is not timing. It is not inheritance, not networking, not the right market, nor the right school. It is spiritual confidence in the unseen. They may not speak it aloud in pulpits or prayers, but in their hearts they walk with assumption. They assume success. They assume favor. They assume money, opportunity, and power will rise to meet them. And I tell you this because spiritual law is no respecter of labels. These ones may not kneel in a church, but they kneel to their inner vision. They serve the law, and the law serves them. The law of assumption, the law of expectancy, the law of spoken decree. They obey it without fail. That is their secret. That is their access. And you, dear soul, you were born with the same access. You were never meant to plead for your good. You were meant to command it. You were not designed to knock endlessly. You were designed to speak and have the door fly open. For the word says, "Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it." The only one who shuts that door is you, with your disbelief, your double-mindedness, your attachment to the visible. But the moment you release what you see and trust what you speak, the door swings wide, the gates lift, the good rushes in. You thought the problem was external, no money, no time, no opportunity. But I say unto you, the problem was never the lack itself. The problem was your agreement with the lack. You allowed it to become identity. You fed it with attention. You spoke of it as if it had dominion, but it never did. It was only a shadow, and shadows flee when the light of truth is spoken. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. You must say the same. Let there be wealth. Let there be ease. Let there be success. Let there be supply. Let there be open doors, multiplying harvest, divine appointments, right opportunities, gold in my hands, and favor on my name. Let it be, and it is. This is how the top 1% think. They do not doubt their right to receive. They do not tremble before decision. They do not consult fear. They do not ask permission to prosper. They assume the answer is yes, because in spiritual law, it already is. They do not collapse in the face of delay. They decree again. They do not shrink in the presence of adversity. They speak louder, bolder, clearer. And life conforms, not because they are chosen in the flesh, but because they choose in the spirit. You may have spent years feeling behind. You may have spent months in confusion, wondering what step to take next. But I tell you this day, the step is not outward, it is upward. You must rise into your spiritual dominion. You must return to the throne that has always been yours. You must reclaim your crown, not of ego, but of law. For the government of your life rests upon your shoulders, and your word is the scepter. Hold it high, wield it without apology, speak as a sovereign, Think like the 1%, not with intellect, but with spiritual certainty. Do you see now? The problem was the doorway. The lack was the instruction, the closed door was the call to speak. And the moment you answer that call, not with complaint, but with command, the law obeys, the heavens align, and the manifestation begins. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. And so I say, rise, not tomorrow. Now speak your way into the rhythm of riches. Think as the wealthy think, not with anxiety, but with alignment. And the world will rise to meet you as it always rises to meet the bold, the faithful, the ones who know, my word does not return void, it prospers in the thing whereto I send it. Speak now, declare now, and receive what was always yours. Let us now speak the word, not to beg, not to plead, but to align. Let us declare with the rhythm of heaven, with the cadence of certainty, with the tone of divine dominion. I speak now not as a supplicant, but as a lawgiver. I speak now as one who knows that the word spoken in faith becomes flesh, becomes gold, becomes open doors and overflowing storehouses. Let every cell in your body now come into agreement with what is already true in spirit. Repeat with me. Declare aloud. Feel the vibration change. I do not chase wealth, I summon it with my word. For the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Money is not my master, money is my messenger. It comes when I speak, it flows when I rest, it multiplies when I praise. My supply is divine, invisible, and immediate. I see no delay, for I walk by faith and not by sight. I do not wait, I receive. I do not earn, I align. I do not hustle, I command. Every word I speak is a gold coin in the vaults of heaven. The more I speak, the more is released. The more I praise, the more is poured out. The more I decree, the faster the gates swing open. There is no limit in God, therefore there is no limit in me. My inheritance is here, my favor is active, my doors are open. No man can shut what God has opened. No circumstance can block what I have blessed. No past can undo what I now declare. I am no longer confused. I am no longer timid. I am no longer waiting. I think like the 1%. I speak like the 1%. I expect like the 1%. I walk in the rhythm of riches. I live by divine law. I speak, and it is so. Now feel this vibration seal itself in your bones. Feel your old thoughts dissolve. Feel the atmosphere shift. The substance has been activated. You have spoken it, and it is done. If this word has stirred your soul, if something ancient within you remembered its crown, if the cells in your body rose up and shouted, "Yes, this is the truth of me," then I invite you to do one thing. Not for me, not for performance, but as a sacred act of spiritual agreement. Speak your wealth into the visible realm. Claim it aloud. Affirm it publicly. Let the universe hear it. Let your subconscious register it. Let the scroll of your life be rewritten with a single comment, a single sentence, a single echo of divine law. Say it with me in the comments now. I now think the thoughts of divine wealth. My word is my wand. Let this be the hour your thinking changed. Let this be the moment you stopped waiting and started commanding. Let this be the line in the sand where you no longer speak as a beggar, but as a builder, a ruler, a co-creator with God. And every time you are tempted to shrink, return to your declaration. Every time fear whispers, answer it with rhythm. You are no longer subject to appearances. You are now a speaker of substance, a thinker of divine wealth, a spiritual millionaire in vibration and word. The kingdom is not far. It is not in the future. It is in your mouth. Speak, and it shall be done unto you.